Crypto Kids, we have Aaron Arnold from the Altcoin Daily to tell us his top 5 altcoins for 2026. And at the end, he's going to share us his macro predictions for Bitcoin and the crypto market in general. But before we continue, make sure to subscribe and destroy the like button for daily Bitcoin and crypto price analysis. With that said, Aaron, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Crypto Kid, it is great to be here. I just recorded an interview with you on my channel, so hopefully a lot of people are watching both. But yeah, great to be here.
Well, it's great to have you on. Aaron, why don't you share us your top 5 altcoins? I know this year and the last year has been horrible and very upsetting for altcoin holders. I think it's going to start to change with all the liquidity, and I want to know which 5 are you holding on to right now?
Yeah, my channel is called Altcoin Daily. We talk about the whole cryptocurrency market, Bitcoin and altcoins. And yeah, I'm happy to talk about my top 5 2026 altcoins today because, first of all, to preface, I think it's really easy with the lackluster price action to think crypto's dead or like altcoins are dead specifically. And although the price action is low, altcoins are anything but dead. Now, there are millions of them, so many won't come back, but like there's never been a better time to pick out quality projects in the altcoin space. Because I will say, before I give you the 5, I think crypto today is in its 1996 moment. A lot of people say it's crypto in 1998, 97, whatever it is. I say crypto's in its 1996 moment. And I do relate it to the internet boom of the 90s because in 1996, the United States government first enacted significant explicit regulation on the internet through the Telecommunications Act of 96. The internet was getting so big, they said, we need to regulate it. We need to create the rules of the road. And we all know after 96, it was just a huge boom. And that's where I think we are today, especially with the Genius Act being passed, with the bullish SEC chair, with the Clarity Act, market structure bill. So there's a lot of reason to be bullish on quality altcoins. So let's jump into that in no particular order. Okay, Crypto Kid.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. It's great to know. I mean, I wasn't around in the 90s, so I don't remember all of that fad about the internet, and then suddenly, it just takes off. And I've also researched that multiple years ago, decades ago, in fact, there was fad about electricity, and people said that electricity would fail, and they also said that motor vehicles would fail, and we should continue riding horse wagons instead. And look what happened. So yeah, I think we're at that moment. And Aaron, I'm very excited to hear your first altcoin for 2026. Aaron is going to continue with his altcoins in literally 30 seconds time. But before we jump into them, guys, if you are a cryptocurrency trader, if you're interested in derivatives trading crypto, that's what we do here on this channel. We've predicted the bottom for Bitcoin and Ethereum and jumped into positions. You can check out the first link in the description down below. 2 weeks, a cryptocurrency exchange that I've been opening trades on for the past year. We have a special campaign just for you. By clicking the first link and signing up with the sign up button with just your email address and password, takes around 40 seconds to create your account, you will be eligible to get all of these bonuses. Now, I won't get into all of them. They're pretty cool, but I'll tell you the first one. If you bind your phone number to your account, you'll be eligible for a $10 to $100 USDT coupon. So check it out. Don't miss it. Now let's go back to Aaron.
Yep, in no particular order. So, I mean, first one we gotta start out with is, let's do actually Aave would be my first pick in no particular order. It is a, lending, borrowing on Ethereum. And the reason I think that is because the largest capital market in the world, the United States, is adopting crypto. Wall Street is adopting crypto. And DeFi is a big product market fit. And they're one of the leaders in the DeFi space. I had the pleasure of interviewing Stani, the Aave founder, as well as Sergey, the Chainlink founder at Chainlink SmartCon recently. And what they're doing with Aave, not only like just a built-out, robust product that anybody can use in a permissionless, decentralized way, but they're also making all the right partnerships with the leaders in Wall Street, I guess, in the United States. So Aave, my first pick. With that, Chainlink as well. The Chainlink price action has been lackluster, especially with just like the slow inflation that Chainlink has as, the tokens have become unlocked over the years and, people with access have been able to sell. But a lot of that sell pressure is drying up, in my opinion, not to mention the fact that they're also connected with the leaders in America in Wall Street. A lot of people think of Chainlink as just an oracle, but they actually have a whole suite of products now. And And just to name some of the people, specific entities that they're working with, BlackRock, Swift, which is the largest financial messaging service in the world, and also the Depository Trust Clearing Corporation, which is responsible for settling almost all securities in America. So they're really like working with the right partners. So Chainlink makes our list. Third,
I just want to quickly jump in there if that's okay,
yeah,
because I'm super
please.
bullish on Chainlink too. I think the biggest narrative that's going to follow in the upcoming years is tokenization, and don't take it from us, by the way. Don't take it from two crypto YouTubers. Take it from Larry Fink, the head of the largest asset manager in the world, worth over $10 trillion. They literally said that there is a mandate going on to tokenize financial equities. It just makes sense, and there is no there is no infrastructure, technology infrastructure that exists in traditional finance to be able to tokenize equities, to be able to tokenize commodities, precious metals, so on. And when we look at where that technology exists, it exists in Chainlink. And like you said, Chainlink guys are buddies with all of the administration that's currently running the show. So I think Chainlink is going to take the scene. I think they're going to help with stable coins, with so much of the relevant topics that we know about today. And Chainlink is in my top altcoins too.
Nice, nice. My third pick might be a boring one to your audience, but my third pick is going to be Ethereum. I say don't count it out. Wall Street is, building on Ethereum because they like stablecoins, they like real world assets, they like DeFi. Now, it's not just Ethereum, but Ethereum definitely has, especially with its L2s, majority market share. And it just seems like all like the huge biggest critiques in crypto in the past for Ethereum, which a lot were propagated by the Bitcoin maximalists. They're no longer like around. Like ever since Tom Lee and BlackRock got involved, it's like all those Ethereum's going away, Ethereum's going to fail. All that like those arguments have kind of crumbled and is just getting adopted. And this legislation that's being passed in America, it's good for Bitcoin. It's way better for Ethereum and everything that's being built on top of Ethereum. So Ethereum would make the list. I'm gonna have to go with Solana too. I mean, this is another like obvious one, but a lot of people are looking for the next Ethereum. Solana is a big contender. And then my fifth choice, because everybody knows about Solana.
Hmm.
What about the next Solana?
Whoa.
There's a lot of things you could say. There's a lot of things you could say for that. I mean, Sui has been in the argument, Avalanche, of course. We've seen, we're talking about like alternative L1s that aren't Ethereum and Solana. And through the years, a lot of them have fell short. Algorand, I think, no longer in the conversation. Cardano, certainly in the conversation, but is it in the conversation as much as an Ethereum and Solana? And everybody knows about Cardano. So my fifth pick could go a lot of different ways. I'm going to
Drum
go
roll.
kind of
Da-da-da-da-da-da-dum.
a corporate L1. We're going with Aptos.
Aptos.
I, you
Wow.
know,
Curveball.
Yeah, their team is from Facebook. Their team is from PayPal. They are like the corporate L1, but in a industry that's getting institutionalized, I think there's room for them to succeed. And with such a low market cap, it could be a good play.
Wow, that's incredible. And I just wanted to bring up an interesting chart for Solana because I thought it was very relevant. And my friend showed it to me earlier on this morning, and it's comparing the M2 money supply with the Solana charts. I think the comparison and the correlation is ridiculously incredible. And I want to highlight that apart from the M2 money supply correlation, which when we look at the dip there, it correlates to the dip that we saw recently, and then there should be a move towards the upside. From a technical perspective, you're also in a huge cup and handle pattern. And we're currently consolidating within this handle. And the moment we break to the upside, I think we can see similar price action to what happened on silver because silver also had a huge macro cup and handle and then decided to blast off to Valhalla. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was cool. So very bullish on Solana.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Well, Aaron, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your top altcoins for 2026. Before we finish off, though, is there anything that you would like to highlight as an extra prediction for this year? Any sort of
Yeah,
macro thesis?
just to give you kind of my general thoughts on what I'm expecting for this year. And, if any of us knew the future, we'd all be rich. So, you know, you have to just stay with the market and kind of adapt to what's going on. But, a lot of people think the 4-year cycle is playing out. I think in 2026, Bitcoin's all-time high of 125, 26,000 will be broken. So I think that's going to invalidate the 4-year cycle. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen right away because we have three big, although I'm bullish on this year, some reasons to be bullish in 2026. Big, beautiful bill goes into effect in the United States. That's stimulus, that's economic growth. Clarity Act market structure bill going to be passed. Hugely bullish. ETF adoption will continue to expand. Hopefully, the US announces buying more Bitcoin up into these midterms to show the crypto community that, hey, we're still taking care of you. And also the Fed being dovish and cutting interest rates and entering into an easing cycle, and also like just the midterms itself, as I said. However, so this is like reasons why I'm bullish, but in the short term, there's a few issues. One, we see what's going on between Trump and Jerome Powell and that kind of shakeup. Jerome Powell's going to be out of there, and that is bullish. But in the meantime, maybe he, hikes rates, or maybe he doesn't cut like he should, just to kind of show the world that, hey, we are independent. And, he's just in a weird position right now. Two, the government shutdown, which kind of tanked the market last year. Government's opened up right now, but January 31st, I think, is the last day. So they're going to have to go through this again, like the government possibly being shut down. And that's not really good, especially if we're waiting for the Clarity Act and, stuff to get passed. And also the Supreme Court tariff decisions. The Supreme Court has to rule on whether Trump's tariffs are legal or not. And I actually think if they say it's not legal, that'd be bullish for markets. But either way, this is kind of uncertainty. So I think that we break above all-time highs this year, but I think there's, we're in a wide range in the short term, and we have to, 2026 is a year for consolidation and accumulation, I guess, but with an ultimately, I think, a bullish outlook.
I completely agree. And guys, if you want to find out why ultimately there's a bullish outlook, our video together, I think, explains it very beautifully. It talks about Michael
Yes.
Saylor, about buying accumulation, the buying pressure on a daily basis. So make sure to check that out. I'll put a link in the description down below to that video and Aaron's beautiful channel. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Aaron, thank you so much for coming on. It is such an honor to have you, my friend, and also one of the largest crypto channels in the world on the Crypto Kid platform. It's incredible. Thank you so much for coming in, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you all on a Bitcoin analysis video tomorrow. Take care. And as always, guys, bye-bye.